Hello, hello. Mm, all right. So I think I am live. Live. It's alive. Hey. All right. Well, this was kind of, an impromptu. I have to tell you guys what I don't know. I watched this thing today and it was really interesting because it was talking about how people become successful and what it takes and all that kind of stuff. And so one of the people that they talked about was Jerry Seinfeld. So Jerry Seinfeld is known as the greatest comedian on earth. I mean, you may like him or you may not like him. I love Seinfeld. I think I watched every single show, and I don't know how many seasons there were, but there was a ton. And I was sad to see it go because I just love that kind of humor. But anyway, I did not realize what kind of work ethic it took for him to become that person. And like I said, you may not like him, you may like him, it doesn't really matter because he did what it took to become successful. Now, there's a lot of people that think that a lot of times when people are successful, it's just luck and all that kind of stuff, but it actually does take a lot of hard work. So, my question to myself was, what is it gonna take to really be successful at like any business? Like anything is showing up, right? You have to show up. To show up every day. I mean, I talk about this, but I was in the hairdressing industry I've been licensed for over 40 years, but I was behind the chair for 37 years. Of course, I took the breaks when I had my children and that kind of stuff, but literally, I lived, ate, and breathed hair every single day. I loved the profession. Yeah, it was exhausting. Yeah, I broke my body down, all that stuff, but I did show up every single day. And I realized that is what it took. Is what it took to become successful. And way back when I started, it was a lot harder than it is today. Everything's kind of at your fingertips today. But think about it. A lot of us that are in business, even like online businesses, do we really do what it takes to become successful? So I started looking at myself and I'm like, you know what? I don't think so. I don't think that I show up as much as I should. I don't think that I'm giving all 100% as I should. And so I started thinking, maybe I should. Well, I wanted to give you guys I did some research and I just want to tell you about some other people that, we've seen that are very successful and what they have done. So one of them, so Seinfeld, he did something every single day. He either wrote his material, but he would constantly show up in everything that he could, show up every single day. I don't think he missed one day in all the years that he's been doing this. So that's why he rose to success so quickly and stayed there. Do you know he's worth over $1 billion? I mean, he's a comedian, worth over $1 billion. I do think he's probably a smart money man as well, but wow, a comedian worth over $1 billion. That's just crazy. But he made a commitment to write one joke every single day. Every single day. Did not miss. He'd mark an X on the calendar for every day he wrote, creating a visual chain. The goal, don't break the chain. That was his goal. So the result was that he rose to become one of the most successful comedians in history, worth over $1 billion, not because of luck. It wasn't luck, but because of the relentless consistency. So what do I take away from that? Success, it's not built overnight. It really isn't. It is something that you constantly have to work on. It's not luck. It seriously is not. And I know there's a lot of people out there that think that some people are luckier than others. But if you really think about it, it's not the luck. It is the consistency. And it is that drive to do better, to get to the top, to continue with your progress. And like he did, he didn't ever want to break the chain. Didn't ever want to break the chain. So those X's on the calendar, he never broke the chain. So another one, Beyoncé. Okay, so Beyoncé, she was known for her unmatched work ethic. Before the 2013 Super Bowl performance, she rehearsed for 8 months. It is a big deal because there's so many people watching that. So I can see why she wanted to be really good. 8 months of rehearsing just for the one song, or I guess she was probably I don't watch football, so I don't know what she did. She did the whole performance. Or did she sing the national anthem? I don't remember. Because like I said, I don't watch football, but you guys could probably tell me. So she says, I dream it, I work hard, I'll grind it till I own it. Well, that's really cool, actually. That's really cool. You know what? I might quote her on that. So what do you take away from that? Well, talent alone isn't enough. Hard work and preparation is what set you apart. That is true. I used to do a lot of education for Paul Mitchell. And when I would go away on a trip, because a lot of times they would send me miles away and I had to spend the night somewhere, I would have like 4 classes that I would have to do. And you have to go to different salons. Nowadays everything's done online, but back then, it really wasn't that long ago, but back then you had to drive places. So here I was driving to these places, and I had to have all the stuff in the back of my car. Now it could be 4 separate different types of class that I was teaching. I could have been doing one on styling, one on color, one on cutting. So the trunk of my car, now I had like a hot rod. The trunk of my car was only so big. So I had to strategically plan every single section so that my first class, I was pulling out the stuff from the front, right? And my second one, the stuff from the front. And then the next day it would be the 2 others. So then when I put it away, I would put it to the back. So that, anyway, it was just one of those things that I had to be organized. Oh my gosh, because what if I wasn't? So I can see that preparation is key because it's going to make you feel more confident. So a lot of times though, I'll tell you what, I do a lot of stuff. I fly by the seat of my pants, but I'll tell you what, sometimes that's a little more difficult because if you don't prepare for something, you don't have quite as much confidence maybe as you would have if you did prepare for it. So that's one of the things that I wanted to do this year was have more preparation and more things totally planned out so that I knew, just like pulling that stuff from the front of the car and then putting it from the front of the trunk and putting it to the back of the trunk when I'm done with it so that I have the next set ready to go. The preparation is key. It does make you feel more confident. Because if you just throw everything in the back, can you imagine, I'd get to the place and I'd be digging through stuff and then I'd forget stuff and it would be awful. So what about Michael Jordan? So there's Michael Jordan. I know there's a movie out, I think, about him or something. But he has missed more than 9,000 shots in his career. He lost almost 300 games on 26 occasions. He had been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed 26 occasions. Only 26 occasions, but I imagine that was tough. He's failed over and over and over again in his life. And that is why he succeeded. There's a lot to be said for that because you fail forward to success. If you don't fail, you don't really have a bar or a roadmap or starting point or whatever they call that. You don't have that to reference. So you need failure. But failure is hard because it hurts the ego, it hurts everything. But if you don't fail, you're not going to know you're not going to have the knowledge that it takes to get to where you're going. You're just not. You need that failure to know what not to do and maybe do it better next time. That was really tough in my hairdressing career, because when you failed at somebody's hair, you knew that that person had to wear that hair either until their next appointment, or they wore that hair down the street to the other salon to fix it, and then you were the failure. So that was tough. But what did it teach you? It taught you what not to do the next time, because had you never failed, you wouldn't have had that, that bar, or that baseline. That's what I was trying to think of. Baseline, that baseline to start from. So, I mean, think about that. You've got to have the failure in your life to know, to have the knowledge to succeed. So what happens when you fail, though? You practice, practice, practice until you get it right. And you keep practicing. And back in the day when I was doing hair in the beginning, there wasn't a whole lot to reference on. So you either watch the girls in your salon do hair and think about what that outcome was, whether you wanted to copy it or not copy it, or if you thought about, how much better it could be. I had this habit of wherever I went, I would look at people's hair and I would think how they did it, how they had it done, what the placement was, especially if it was like a really good haircut or a really good color. I would just look at that and I would say, okay, so I wonder how they placed this, and they did this and they did that. And wow, that is just amazing. And I wonder how long it took. And I wonder what kind of utensil or tools that they used. And all of that stuff would go through my head. It was an obsession, I think. But I was constantly trying to figure out how to make mine better. So if I put that much energy into that business, why can't I put it into this business? So I started thinking about that today. That's why I wanted to come on here and talk to you guys a little bit about it, because I thought, well, why not share this with everybody? Because it's the starting of a new year. Let's make it work. So you got to show up. You got to show up. You got to practice. You got to keep going. Don't, I'm going to do the X's on the calendar, because I'm going to go live every single day and try to get motivated for that day or the next day and see if I can do it without getting a minus on my calendar. I want that X on there. Okay, we'll see what happens. No, it's going to happen. So, Stephen King. This was a good one. So Stephen King, whether you like him or not, I like Stephen King. I don't know. I just, it's creepy enough. I just like Stephen King. I think I probably traumatized my daughter, however, when she was little, because I had her watch Stephen King movies, and probably wasn't a good idea, but whatever. She's okay with it. But he writes, get this, he writes 2,000 words a day. 2,000. How long would that take? Well, I guess, typing, it probably wouldn't be that long, but 2,000 words every single day, even on holidays and vacations. So he never takes a break. He published over 70 novels because of his disciplined habit. Consistency creates mastery and output. Oh, truly, totally believe that. So the power of daily habits, it is really powerful. And what do they say that it takes to make a habit? What is that? They say that it takes, I don't know how many days to make a habit. Is it 24 days or 26 days, something like that, to make a habit? But if you do something every single day, it does become a habit and it does become routine. And I know that to be a fact, because there are certain things that I do repetitively, just the routine of, like, when you get ready for bed, the same routine every single day. And it just becomes so repetitive that you don't even think about it. You just do it. So why not put that into your daily life? And once you start doing it and it becomes routine, you just don't think about it. You just do it. How good would you be? So you did one skill, like say, for instance, you were a hairdresser. So say, for instance, you're a hairdresser and you really wanted to master skin fade haircut on, you know, like you hadn't done much barbering skills, but you wanted to master that skin fade. If you did that every single day, would you be good at it? Well, I would certainly hope you better be good at it, because if you did it every single day, you would be good at it just from continuing to do it every single day, because you would realize what it took, every little flick of your wrist, every little, because I think with skin fade, you got to push the skin out of the way and push the ears out of the way and all that kind of stuff. Every little tiny inch of that haircut, you would know like the back of your hand. So why is it any different with what we do every day? Because I think a lot of times, we get into these businesses, or we get into a business and we think, oh, it's just really not working. I invested all this money into it and nothing works. You throw something out on social media one day and nobody bites, and you're like, oh, it's not working. Yeah, it might work, and you don't know who's seen it. But just because somebody doesn't, jump in and say, oh, I want what you have, you think that it doesn't work. But if you're consistent and every day you're going in there and every day you are talking about what it is that you have, you are studying what it is that you have, you are showing people what it is that you have and that how it can help them. If every single day you're doing that, come on, you're gonna be successful, because you're gonna be known as the expert, right? So I'm gonna do it. I don't know about you guys, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna start putting this into my day every single day. I want to be the expert. I want to be the go-to. I want to be the person that people come to. I just started this digital marketing business, and let me tell you, 6 months ago, I did not want to do it. I thought it was way too much. I thought it was way, over a lot of people's heads. I didn't really think that people would be interested in it because it was like a one and done, all that stuff. But I'm here to tell you today that it's changing people's lives. It is a global product. Think about it. A digital product is a global product. The digital products in today's world are going to be, I mean, it's just the whole business is exploding. It is exploding. So think about it. Think about if you did this every single day and you talked about it every single day, how could you not be successful in it? It's proven. It's a proven blueprint. It is proven to work. If you work it exactly how they show you, and the whole training is literally this woman holds your hand and walks you through it. I'm in tech and everything, and I do help other people with this. And I'm a kind of a bulldog when it comes to it, because I want to find out why, how, what, where, when, how does this work? I want to know how to do it. And if you start doing it over and over and over again, you are going to be really good at it. So why not rinse and repeat? Why not jump in, try it, even for the 30 days, just try it, going live every single day, doing what they tell you to do every single day, and just see if it doesn't work. So mindset shifts. That was another thing. So on my notes here, mindset shifts. Motivation is fleeting. Discipline is reliable. Hey, that is true. Motivation is fleeting, because what happens, everybody's like, tomorrow is Motivation Monday. So there's a lot of people out there, Motivation Monday. So how long does that last? What, a couple hours after you read the quote or whatever, and you think, yes, Monday, I'll get into it. And then halfway through Monday, you've lost your motivation. But discipline, discipline, discipline is reliable because, like I said, when you get into those routines and you're doing something every single day, it's the discipline that's going to keep you going. That discipline, literally like the routine, because I was thinking about this the other day. It's like that my evening routine, my morning routine is so much the same that I don't even remember that I did one of my steps because I do it every single day. So, because, I do my skincare in the morning and I put a moisturizer, my daily moisturizer is the last thing. And there's some days that I'll sit there and I'll go, did I put my moisturizer on today? I'll go, oh yeah, I did. I don't even remember doing it. So that's what you got to get to be successful. You're doing something every single day. It becomes routine and you are so disciplined that you are going to be so good at it that you can literally, like they say, do it in your sleep. So focus on the process, not the outcome. And it's true. I think a lot of times, we have like dollar signs in our eyes and we're like, oh, we got to do all these sales, blah, blah, blah. No, why don't you just focus on the process? Focus on getting good at what you're doing. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I did for nearly 40 years behind the chair. I just focused every single day. And I tell you what, it wasn't until after I quit doing hair that I realized how good I was, because I never, ever thought I was that good while I was doing hair, because I was constantly pushing to be better. So why can't I do this in this business? I think because, the 40 years of being behind the chair and, there's still all that melancholy crap going on in my brain. Well, you know what? I love this too. I love being with people and all that stuff. So you know what, Cindy? I'm going to kick myself in the butt and I am going to focus on being really good at what I do. Why not? All right. So resilience through failure. Every failure is a stepping stone. Michael Jordan, Seinfeld, they both had failures and refused and went on to refine their craft. So I had so many failures in the hair industry. I had so many failures. There were failures where, I actually had clients yell at me and complain about, I don't know, cutting their bangs too short or whatever. It's like, well, it is just hair, but I get it because they had to wear it until it grew out and, it was my mistake and not everybody has a perfect day. But did I make that mistake again? No, never made that mistake again. But had I not failed at that, I probably could have made that mistake over and over again. If they had never told me, I would have just kept doing it. Think about that. All right. So let's see. Setting goals, right? So setting daily goals. So I'm going to get that calendar out and I'm going to start marking the X's on that calendar. That's one of my goals. What about you guys? So what about, let's see, a habit tracker? I did, look at what I did. I actually bought this planner this year. I looked at it last year and I thought it was a little pricey, but I thought, this year I'm going to buy it. And it's good, but it's missing something. And I realized what it was missing was it's missing some note pages. I like to take a ton of notes. Now it has everything else that I love in it, but I like to take notes. So look at what happened to me today. I'm taking notes on sticky notes and putting them in here. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that. I might have to get me some note paper and put in there because I'm constantly taking notes when I'm doing stuff. So habit tracker, that's going to be great because it's got the calendar in there. So I'm going to do my little X's. Showing up even when it's hard. So showing up when you don't want to, because let me tell you, there's days that I don't want to show up. I don't want to show my face. I don't want to. I just don't want to. But you know what? I'm going to stop that. I'm really going to stop that. I don't know about you guys, but so let's see. Oh, yeah. Tie your habit into an existing routine. So, there's going to have to be whatever in between my daily habits or my daily routine. But I do want it. I do want to get to where I want to get to where it just becomes routine and it's just something that I do every day. So why not? All right, you guys, I can ramble on and on forever, but I'm going to stop it now. So let me know your thoughts. What are you guys doing for 2025? What is going through your mind right now? Are you going to show up every day? Are you going to give it your all? Are you going to do the research or whatever it takes to be the best that you can be? Are you going to do the repetitive stuff to be the best that you can be? I'm certainly going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to just get in there and dig in every day and let's go for it. I want to see your successes too, because you know what? It's no fun out there running by yourself because you don't have anything to measure it on. But let's all run together. Some people might be a little more ahead. Well, then we're going to try to catch up with them. Some people might be too far behind, and then we'll kind of push those people up. So let's all run together and make it happen. All right, you guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. I love you. Have a great week. It's Sunday night. Tomorrow's a Motivation Monday. Let's go. Bye.